All right, we're going to get right into this. But first, if you have not yet to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Just do it. As you know, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we love the Houston Texans and their content. But also, we just love reporting on teams that don't get the love from the national media. So here you go. Here's your outlet. We've been on the cutting lines of Texans content for the entire season now. And we were the guys telling you that we thought this year might be okay. If you had to squint, at the beginning of the year, you had to squint really hard, but you could see it, don't you think? Don't you think you could see it going in? And now it's coming to fruition. And there is a big game coming up. All right, there's a big game coming up against the Denver Broncos. All right, so we are going to talk about an injury and a face that they are going to love to make sure they have and why it's so important to this game. So without further ado, let me go ahead. Let me get to that. And this is something that I was reading off Twitter, and it says right up here, Aaron Wilson says, there is optimism that the Texans rookie, I didn't mean to do that. I am so sorry. Rookie wide receiver Tank Dell, who hurt his calf, should be able to play against the Broncos. Okay, this was after he did not practice today. So per league source, as injury is regarded as relatively minor. All right, so he had imaging on his calf after the game. He isn't practicing. It looks like this could just be something that is precautionary, which would be huge. Now, I'm going to tell you why even if he doesn't play, you might be okay. So if you want to look at me with this one, we see the injury report for the Texans. And as you can see, going into last week's game, there wasn't a ton going on. And now Monday, you have Case Keenum on there, Jimmy Ward with a hamstring, all right, at safety, Jake Hansen, and Noah Brown. Noah Brown was unable to play. He was questionable for week 13 in Denver. Now, here we are 2 days later, and I don't see an injury designation for Noah Brown. Now, Tank Dell is there. He wasn't there before, but he's there now. All right, so they swapped wide receivers. Now, don't get me wrong. If I am a fan of the Texans, if I'm just me, even me, I'd rather have Tank Dell in there, right? Because he is the future. And the chemistry that him and CJ Stroud are building together is absolutely beautiful. But it is not the requirement. The requirement in what they have shown as Texans is that if they have two of their three wide receivers, honestly, three of their four, they're good because they have four solid wide receivers that you can count on that have actually proven themselves already this year. You have Nico Collins. All right, so you can talk about Nico Collins, and I can't even begin to talk about how impressed I am with Nico Collins. I'm just absolutely blown away on how good he has been, and I really do think he is the next T. Higgins. He is the next Mike Evans. I think if he stays in Houston and is able to play a long time with Stroud, that could be a really, really good thing for those guys. Then you have Tank Dell, all right? Rookie, jumping out, and he is looking like he is going to be something special. So that's what's so exciting about Tank Dell. He looks like he's going to be something special. You have this steady, reliable, what is looking like Nico Collins on the outside. The Texans are almost putting together. They're almost like little 1-2 punch. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, kind of like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins over in Cincinnati. Or A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in Philly. And I'm not saying they're there yet, but this has been amazing, the progression. You have Noah Brown. And I'm going to say something a little bit unique here. Noah Brown, to me, is kind of the proof that CJ Stroud is a legit quarterback. Like that he is going to be a top 5 quarterback for the entirety of his career. Because Noah Brown is a guy who just looked like he was a little bit too slow. They couldn't make it happen when he was in Dallas. And then all of a sudden he comes over here to Houston and is just like, I'm having a great year. I'm a good player, right? And then, of course, you have Robert Woods. So if Tank Dell or Noah Brown are out, you still have Robert Woods to come in to fill it in. But it is very, very important because, as you can see here, the Texans have moved from, if they won against the Jags, all right, they would be the 3 seed right now. Actually, that's not true. They'd be the 4 seed. Sorry. They'd be the 4 seed sitting there at 7-4. They'd have home field advantage, but they didn't. So now they're going against a Broncos team who is red hot, and they are on the bubble. They're actually tied with the Colts right now, but the Colts have the tiebreaker. So here's what I think is so exciting to look at. Look at this injury report. There's like nothing there, and it looks like Tank Dell is going to be good to go, which you want because Tank Dell has been not just a great rookie wide receiver. He's been one of the best wide receivers in the league the last few weeks, period. And so that allows that team to run at 100%. It allows them to run at full strength, which is exactly what you want for a game going up against a Broncos team that is not messing around, and a Broncos defense that somehow is playing really well. And it's kind of a unique matchup for the Texans because you have the Broncos defense is awful against the run, and you have a Texans team who's just starting to figure out how to run the ball in the last month or so. And so can you take advantage of that enough to make and put pressure on that secondary as well? So you never know. Broncos just keep winning games, but Houston has been winning games up until this week too. So should be fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, keep watching more and more. A lot of Texans content right here. Other NFL teams that quite honestly are ignored by the national media. So subscribe to the channel and hope you enjoy it. See ya.